Hello friends, welcome to this channel. Today I want to attempt to answer the question, what is the best steel Rolex GMT that you can buy right now in the market? Now I'm specifically referring to modern Rolex steel references or the ones with ceramic bezels. The older ones, the 5-digit references, I will not go into details because I don't actually have any of them. But I do have all the 6-digit references with the ceramic bezels. So starting with this one, this is actually the Rolex Batman with the black color and the blue color bezel. This is the newer generation. I also have the Pepsi in the Jubilee dial. So there is the red and the black bezel. Nice Jubilee bracelet. And I also have, as a bonus, the steel and the rose gold root beer. Okay, very subdued two-tone watch. I will do a close-up later on all these watches so you can see them clearly. And last but not least, this is actually the OG, the first steel Rolex GMT with the ceramic bezel, and this is in all black bezel. Now, as an additional side note, this is actually the first ever Rolex that I managed to buy, and it was actually from the AD back in 2017. How times has changed. Anyway, with this Rolex GMT, the black dial with the green hand, and the favorite thing about this watch to me is definitely the dial. Amongst all the other watches, this has, I think, the best dial and hands configuration. There's just something about the green color, our GMT hand, and also the green color text right in the bottom of the watch. So I think for the price, this is probably still my favorite watch. Now, the second watch that I want to talk about is the root beer. For those of you who know this watch, there is actually a full gold version, which is where the entire thing is made out of rose gold. Now that will typically cost about twice the money of this watch on the secondary hand market. In the retail price, it's about almost 3 times the watch. Nonetheless, I don't think I would pay that money for the full gold watch because I just don't see a difference of having a full gold and a two-tone watch, apart from the fact that the full gold watch obviously gives you a lot more street cred, a lot more credibility when it comes to the watch game. However, I can't justify that price, so I'm going to settle for the two-tone one. And the two-tone one has its own unique perspective as well, because you have a stainless steel case. The sides of the watch are made out of stainless steel on the bracelet, so it's a lot more robust and less prone to scratches. And the important areas, which is the bezel and also the crown, are made out of rose gold. So I'm very happy with a two-tone watch. The weakness of this watch, however, I would say, is the dials and the hand. Now, on the hand, all the hands are the same color, even the GMT hand. So it makes it really hard to read. Now, the good thing about that though is that if you don't want the GMT hand to stand out, you just want to use it as a daily watch, it's actually not too bad because then you don't have to worry about the GMT hand being in the way of it. So this watch is good for dressier occasions. Like you actually wear to an event, to a party. You don't actually wear this watch when you're traveling. Also because the gold kind of grabs attention. Now this watch is crazy. Like it used to be cheaper than the Pepsi, which is the next watch I'm going to show you, but now it's shot up to about the same price. And I think that's kind of justifiable given that it is a two-tone rose gold watch after all. And now this is the granddaddy. This is the Pepsi with the Jubilee bracelet. The Pepsi bezel that you see here is very dark maroon and dark blue, almost black. So I can see that this watch, this bezel, has completely made the Coke bezel obsolete because yes, the collectors want the black and the red, but this is almost black and red to my eyes in certain lights already, and I don't see the need for that. The newer version, the older version of this bezel actually has got a much more pink and purple bezel to it. And some people like it, some don't. Personally, I much prefer this one. But if you're a collector, you simply must have everything out there in the market. That might be the one that you want to have after getting this one. With this, with the ceramic bezel, it does make the older Pepsi a little bit, it does make them look a little bit vintage. So if you do like that kind of vintage watch, you can go for that one. But personally, I'm always into the modern watch. So this has a 72 power reserve, 72 hours of power reserve. I think it's just a much better deal. Alright, now comes to my conclusion. Which one do you think is the best watch for the money? Honestly, they each have their own benefit and perks. Now, I will start with this one. For the price that you're getting on this watch, I think you can't go wrong. This watch has been discontinued. This is a black bezel GMT with the green GMT hand. It has been discontinued. You can't go wrong with this. It is safe. It is subtle. Those who knows. Those who doesn't know, they would not know what this is. But deep down, it's just a very functional watch. And the green hand is just so Rolex. The market value of this watch has shot up to about double of its retail value. So I got this for about 11,000 Singapore dollars, and it's right now going for about 20,000. If you dig high enough, you can get some for just about maybe 18 to 19,000 dollars. And if you can get one at that price, I think you should pull the trigger, because this watch is not coming back. Even if they bring it back in the newer movement, it's going to be at a much higher price. And it is a very common watch back in the days, but right now it is still hot. Like, it is still one of the hottest watch you can get. Now, what occasion would I go for the rose gold two-tone watch? I think this watch is good if you want it for a dressy occasion. I used to have the Rolex Submariner, the one in two-tone, but I think that one's a little bit too much. The yellow gold is just so bright that it is very catching attention. And I don't see the purpose of having a two-tone Rolex Submariner, because everyone knows that the steel Hawk, the one in the green dial, is the best like steel Submariner, like the most popular and also the most expensive one. And then you have a two-tone watch that is actually trading below that is louder than that watch. It just kind of doesn't make sense to me. And then moving on to the Batman. The Batman came out in about 2015. This is a newer version. And there's actually something that I want to tell you about this watch. It didn't come out as a Batman. It came as a Batgirl. And this Pepsi actually came on the Oyster bracelets. And what I did is, I actually swapped the bracelets. So there you go. For those who are asking, can you do it? Yes, you can swap the bracelet. And it's very easy. It is as easy as actually just using the a tool for, you can use a Virgin tool, or in my case, I actually use the Errorless tool. Just lift up the locks, use a tweezer, do not use a spring bar tool, because that is going to scratch the locks. Tweezer in, out, 2 seconds, done. I just switch the bracelets around. And that is actually my favorite way to wear the GMTs. The black and blue on the Jubilee, the Batgirl, and for the Pepsi on the Oyster. Why does a Pepsi on the Oyster? Because it looks like the one in the white gold version. Yes, I know what you're thinking. Poor guy, you can't afford the white gold version. Again, I just can't justify the price of it. If you have the white gold with the blue colored dial, or the meteorite dial, which is going for about 100,000 Singapore dollars, then yes, power to you. That is actually the one that I really want to, but I just can't justify the price again. So the closest that I can go is actually to have the Pepsi in the Oyster bracelets. And to me, that would be the winner. No, but hold on. You are saying that the price is crazy, right? Like, that watch is going for about 40,000 Singapore dollars, and then the black GMT is going for about half the price. Yes, there you go. If you are really, really budget conscious, go for the black GMT. If you can stretch out a little bit more, I will go for the older Batman, the 116710 blnr, because that has the same movement as a black GMT, but with the blue bezel, it just gives it a little bit of a nice touch. And yes, the black bezel does get a bit boring after a while, so having the subtle blue tone is just a much nicer touch. If you do have a little bit more money, yes, I will stretch it up to the newer Batgirl, the newer Batman if you're really keen for that. I really don't see the point of the newer Batman compared to the older one for the price difference. And finally, if you have money for the best of the best, go for the root beer or the Pepsi in Oyster, obviously. And that's it. I will try to make a comparison next time with the Submariner. I do have the Black Submariner and the Hawk as well, and also a Panda. So let me know if you want to compare this to the other two watches that I have. Thank you.